I came across a video recently on YouTube, and the title excited me. If you are new to my channel, may have never seen me before, hi, my name is Shane. And this channel really is a mix of things, but I do like to come on here and talk about some current true crime events. One thing I will say about doing these types of videos, and I see it reoccurring, some people will say that this is old news. If my a death is a mystery, please don't let somebody say that it's old news, because I'm going to come out of the grave and smack you. Today, we are just going to figure out where this case stands. To give you a brief summary, Mica Miller was married to J.P. Miller, and I do say was because it is alleged that she unalived herself in North Carolina at Lumber River State Park. I believe this was back in April, earlier this year. I am not a journalist, I am not an investigator, I simply react to whatever information has been made for the public to react to. We banter in the comments, we give our opinions, so on and so forth. So with that spiel out of the way, let me pull up this video for you guys. Oh my gosh. My crochet needle was stuck to my iPad. This is not the local police, okay? The FBI is not going to waste their resources unless they know that they're looking for something. I believe it was from Law and Crime Network. That's the one that I want to see. It was posted about a month ago. I'm also a model. I also work for brands, so I am doing other content outside of this crime video stuff. So as much as I love to do it, I don't get to do it as often as I can. So I'm trying to take advantage of the opportunity to film this evening. I know for me, and probably for some of you as well, this is the first time that we've been updated about the case since hearing about the FBI's raid. Keep in mind, I'm going to have to skip over any parts with music for copyright reasons, but I will do my best to play it as is. The video starts off immediately with copyright music, so it just shows, this comes from a TikTok at Rev Millie Joy. I do have captions on, and no captions are playing currently. So the beginning clip, again, it has some music, but it's just showing this lady in white walking up, and the commentator, the lady holding the phone, is like, uh-oh, y'all, what's going on? Wondering what the confrontation is all about. It says, on this confrontation outside of the Church of South Carolina, Pastor John Paul Miller has resulted in his arrest already under intense scrutiny of his wife Mica, the death of his wife Mica, and after the home was searched by the FBI. J.P. Miller he has faced charges for his separate incident, where we're going to explore the latest update and everything we know about the death of the 30-year-old Mica Miller. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. All right, here is Jesse.
Story has gained widespread national attention, and this is after her husband, John Paul Miller, a pastor at Solid Rock Church in South Carolina, announced at the end of an April sermon that his wife had passed away. It was strange. It was really, really strange. He said that his wife died by her own hand in a state park in North Carolina. And since that announcement, public suspicion of Miller's alleged involvement in what happened to his wife, it is heightened. Because now we have protesters reportedly lining up outside of that church every Sunday calling for his arrest.
Excuse my interruption, but I'm still glad to see protesters outside. I think there was a comment made, I don't know if it was by the Miller sisters attorney Regina Ward, or if it was by oh god, what was his name? You guys can help me remember all these names. Michael, maybe he was representing JP in court. One of them had alluded to the idea, and it may have even been Regina, possibly, not entirely sure, was alluding to the idea of that the protests outside of the church, the people wearing shirts supporting Mica and justice for Mica, was dwindling down. And I was actually pretty upset when I first heard that news. But as of this most recent update, it seems like that is not the case, and that the protests seem, I'd kill to be able to get down to the Carolinas right now and be able to attend them myself. But I'm glad that people are still down there making noise.
John Paul Miller, of abusing his wife and even pushing her to take her own life, though he has denied this. And by the way, to be clear, on the day of Mica's death, he was purportedly in Charleston, hundreds of miles away.
I believe in one of my last episodes that ended up being possibly disproven. There's some information I got to catch up on. JP's whole alibi was saying that he was attending a tournament where at least a handful of people that would have recognized him would have seen him at this game. And none of those people have come forward and said that they saw JP present at the game. So his alibi seemed to be slipping through the cracks a little bit.
Mica Miller was captured on surveillance video purchasing a gun at a pawn shop before driving to Lumber River State Park, which is just over the state line in North Carolina. She called 911 telling them what she was planning to do, and even though dispatchers tried to convince her otherwise, they sadly could not talk her out of the tragic decision, and autopsy results confirmed that she died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Unless proven otherwise in the court of law, this is all speculation and opinion, but I also remember covering the 911 calls possibly being AI generated. I believe, wasn't there an interview with Mica's own father saying that doesn't even really sound like his daughter?
And John Paul were in the midst of a divorce, which, according to her family, she was hopeful about. Her sister had alleged that Mica had been in fear for her life, and eerily, Mica allegedly told her, quote, "If I end up with a bullet in my head, it was not by me, it was JP."
And I've said this since the beginning, I'm sorry, but I don't think most people go around claiming that someone else is going to kill them unless they have a strong, what's the word, an intuition. You can almost feel it coming, like an evil radiating off of someone, and she could have possibly felt that from him.
Mica's family also said that she kept a journal where she allegedly wrote of being a victim of abusive, coercive control.
I wondered what JP was trying to collect. Was he trying to go for the laptops? And I believe that was confirmed by a voicemail or a voice recording from Mica with plural laptops, there being more than one. We had seen that video of JP outside of his church holding two phones. I don't know if that was confirmed that both of those were his phones, but why he would have someone else's, questionable.
About a month before her death, Mica even posted this video on Facebook offering advice to anyone who may be or have been in an abusive relationship.
God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that? So, I want to remind you, like a bunch of people have been reminding me lately, that I'm God's bride first.
By the way, as you may know, we have been actively following the Mica Miller story for a while here on Sidebar. We've been trying to stay up to date on any new developments, and one of the reasons that we're able to continue to do that kind of work is not only because of you guys, and we can't thank you enough for your support, but also because of our sponsors and the work they do with us. And I have to call out, now, despite public scrutiny, John Paul Miller has claimed that Mica struggled with mental health, and that he said that he even argued with her family over her need to take medication to control her thoughts.
Because because Mica's sisters claimed that Mica never had any mental health issues before marrying JP. So it was a major red flag to the girls that all of a sudden she's in this relationship with what seems to be a very controlling, manipulative man, and all of a sudden she has all these mental health problems and needs to be checked into facilities. There was a lot involved after she got married to him, so they've even said in interviews themselves that, yeah, Mica had no mental health issues that were at least prevalent before marrying JP.
We actually spoke with Mica's family in a previous episode of Sidebar where they addressed these mental health claims.
So before Mica married John Paul, she had no signs, no history, no indications of mental illness at all.
And why did she presumably agree to a power of attorney? Usually the person who sets up would have to agree to it and sign to it.
He had every way to control her, and he was very good at manipulating the situation.
Just because you're married does not mean, especially if you're estranged or again in maybe the early stages of proceeding to separate, whatever it is, some breakups can end very badly. And don't be surprised. It's messed up. The system is not perfect, but don't be surprised what your spouse can do underneath the other spouse's nose. Well, you might think, oh, they need my signature, they need my approval, they need my consent, they need the. Don't be surprised.
He thought that he would be doing the right thing, and she wanted to trust that Mr. Miller Jr. was actually doing the right thing for them until she got away from him and had more time when she spent more time with us to peel off some of those layers and realize what was going on. And then she started becoming herself again and got a job and everything else and was doing fine and was happy-go-lucky self again, excited about the future, and which is something he did not like. Now, to be very, very clear here, John Paul Miller has never been criminally charged in connection to Mica's death. But now, as tensions continue to rise, and as we previously reported, his house was searched by the FBI, the pastor finds himself behind bars right now. Why? Over an alleged confrontation with a protester. Records, the 45
What a plot twist. Tell me.
Was charged with third-degree assault and
Hold on.
right now. Why? Over an alleged confrontation with a protester. So according to police records, the 45-year-old was charged with third-degree assault and battery stemming from an incident outside of his church on Wednesday. And although police have not provided official details of what happened, a portion of that confrontation was captured on a witness's cell phone.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Uh-oh, y'all. What's going on?
Wait. Why are they blurring the faces? So by the white car, because I know it's hard to see. I'll link this video down below if you want to see the whole thing yourself. The woman in white, you can see on her back, it says Justice for Mica. So she's, you know what side she's on. She's approaching the white car and there are two people there. I don't know why their faces are blurred. I'm assuming maybe it's JP. And it maybe looks like a woman. Is that Susie? I don't know. Maybe they'll clarify for me, but just so you can kind of see or tell what's going on here.
And a woman can be seen chasing Miller in a parking lot, seemingly harassing him, and she is believed to be a Justice for Mica protester. That woman, identified as Sandra Karen, can be heard yelling at Miller, who turns back to confront her, and Karen told a local affiliate that Miller had squared up to her and tapped her on her hat with his phone. So what prompted this confrontation? Well, Miller was reportedly driving by the church property when he saw groups of people gathered there, prompting him to return to the scene and approach them. And after that alleged physical contact, he faces this misdemeanor charge, which by law could result in a fine and up to 30 days behind bars. He's been released on a $776 bond. He's expected back in court December 10th. But this heated exchange comes just a day after Sandra Karen said that she heard rumors the church was being emptied of its contents, possibly in relation to that FBI search of Miller's home that I mentioned about from last week. So to talk more about this, I want to bring on attorney Regina
I wonder
Ward.
if the FBI has obtained a warrant to search. I think what he's saying is Solid Rock, that premises as well. Sandra baby, Sandra. Sandra baby, one little thing, a ring. You are officially my hero. I was not expecting that to be the reason that JP was arrested. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna take a look. We're gonna take a look further into this video as well as any other updates. I will I truly my guess had anything to do with the FBI raid, but listen, the FBI has raided his house. They took out property, they took out boxes. Now they're just not going to walk out with evidence and laptops. They're going to put it in boxes, keep it concealed. As of right now, I don't know if we know exactly what was taken from his house. Also, again, if there was a warrant put out to search Solid Rock, what are they going to find there? Is JP the only one who is being currently rated by the FBI? Because I know there were a lot of characters and names involved in this case. We will check out some more updates shortly, so if you want to see some more of me, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.